Hold on one second. We're about to get to the bottom of this, ladies and gentlemen. This don't make no sense whatsoever. Welcome to the Dark Waters channel, where we explore mysteries, figure out the truth, dive into politics, and anything else you want to know about. That's what we're doing over here, baby. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm back to make another prediction. You want to hear it? Here you go. Byron Donalds not only is going to be the governor of good old state of Florida, but at some point in time, Byron Donalds is going to be the president of the United States of America. Yep, America's going to be ready for a black conservative president. His name is going to be Byron Donalds. You have a black president named Byron, first name Byron, last name Donalds. But in the meantime, while we're waiting on that, Byron Donalds comes out and he makes some really good points. You want to know the first good point he makes is, even though I believe, Byron, you are wrong about this, Representative Byron Donalds, he says we shall impeach the corrupt judge James Boasberg for signing off on spying on GOP senators. You don't have to impeach Byron, you just got to fire him, because you can fire him. Bill Clinton did it. Yeah. Bill Clinton fired everybody when he came into office. Bill Clinton came in and he said, he looked around. He said, bring me the paperwork. Everybody going home. Everybody's going home. But hey, you know what? You can go look it up yourself, ladies and gentlemen, and see if I'm lying to you. I don't know who's convinced the GOP that you have to play by these rules. Billy Clinton, established this himself when he came in office as president. He fired everybody. He fired all the prosecutors. He fired judges. He wiped the slate clean. That's what laid the foundation for all these fools to be in place right now. It was under the original first black president that everybody said he was black because he played a saxophone, Bill Clinton, and his witchy wife, Hillary Clinton, who seems like she just will not die. Have you ever noticed that Hillary Clinton will come out looking like death and then go back and disappear and come back and she looks all healthy again? That's because she's got access to life extension technologies, and she's probably getting all kind of human organs transplanted into her body. She probably looks like one of those damn, probably like a stitched up doll when she's naked, because they cut her open and replace so many parts so many times. I'm sorry, I digress. Byron Donalds does bring something to the forefront that is a huge issue, and it's good that we're finally getting to dealing with this. We must deal with the corrupt judges if America is to truly be free. And Boasberg is the number one target to target, because once you shake the tree and the foundation that is Boasberg and chop the foundation, then the rest of the roots is going to dry up. Somebody got to get Boasberg. And I'm going to say, Byron, congratulations, Byron Donalds. I wish I could meet Byron Donalds. Matter of fact, 2026, I'm going to commit to y'all that I'm going to bring back a version of myself that's no longer T-shirt James. Like, this is T-shirt Jean James, who's been afraid to put on a suit and tie again because the guy that was in a suit and tie was pretty bad. You know what I'm saying? He was a pretty crazy dude. So I wouldn't do it, because it's like your armor. You know what I mean? It's like Superman putting back on his cape, and then you're not knowing if you're gonna get Bizarro Superman or you're gonna get regular. Shut up, James. You're not supposed to be talking while I'm talking. You're not sure if you're gonna get Bizarro Superman or if you're gonna get regular Superman. That's why I haven't been putting on my suit and tie, because I wasn't sure which Superman I was gonna get. Because I don't want y'all to get Bizarro Superman, because there is a Bizarro version of me. Bizarro. I didn't want to get that. But I think it's about time I go ahead and do this before it's too late. Yeah, before it's too late. All right, let's listen to what Brother Byron Donalds had to say.
We should know. Number one, I think it was Judge Boasberg was the judge who signed off on all this stuff. He needs to lose his seat as a judge. Right. That needs to go. Number two, they need to be called into Congress. But the third part is, because Congress will happen, we'll do that stuff. The Department of Justice is really going to have to go through this. And if there were criminal violations, they have to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. This is worse than Watergate. As much as everybody wants to talk about Watergate and everything around Richard Nixon, this is significantly worse because while they were using the judicial system to go after their political rival, they were also in the background protecting Joe Biden from the American people with the auto pen investigation and then silencing the American people through social media, strong-arming media companies to silence the voices of Americans. This is the most corrupt presidential administration, the Biden administration, in the history of our country. Heads need to roll.
We're reaching the point, thank you, Brother Byron Donalds, we're reaching the point to where it's poop or get off the pot for the Trump administration. It really is. It's Donald, it's time for Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, and Dan Bongino to either poo or get off the pot. We're going to find out if they're in potty training, like a little baby in potty training, or if they on their game, because this is the big fish. And don't get me wrong, I'm not disrespecting what they've done. They've been arresting everybody. You know, I'm not a hater of a Pam Bondi anymore. I was a hater of Pam. I'm not a hater of Pam anymore. I'm more of a liker of Pam. I'm not a hater of Kash. I'm more of a liker of Kash. I'm not a hater of Dan. I'm more of a liker of Dan. But at the same time, no, but negates that. And I take that back. And I want to do a conjunction. I don't want to negate it. And I want to see them do more. And this is where the rubber meets the road. And if you're on the adult toilet, then it's time to take a poop. That's all I'm saying. It's time for one of the mega dumps. You know, the kind that make you sleep for 3 days? You sleep for 3 days afterwards? That's where we at. Take a dump and sleep for 3 days. That's the kind of stuff that we going to have to do. That's Glenn Ross, if y'all don't know about it. I act as if I'm on methylene blue. Oh, yeah, thank you. It's one of those things, ladies and gentlemen. It's one of those beautiful things. We're at that point. Don't believe me? Hold on. Watch. Your boy Jack Smith was out here spying on everybody. Jack Smith was top flight security of the world. He was top flight security of the real world, Craig. We top flight security of the world. He was spying on everybody. Jack Smith spied on Ed Henry for helping produce song by January 6 prisoners and President Trump, Justice for All. Jack Smith, this cracking open of the can that is Jack Smith has led to the ultimate moment where everybody must get arrested. It penetrates into the FBI. It penetrates into the damn Justice Department. This is the ring of Mordor. You thought that the Epstein files was the ring. This is one of the other rings, the sister's ring. This is another My Precious. So My Precious has been rolled out. And right now, they couldn't get their hands. Nobody's seen the Epstein files. They ain't seen the Epstein files yet because that's the real My Precious. That's the blackmail files. But here come another one. My Precious. My Precious. Oh, My Precious. What y'all gonna do with My Precious, man? This is where we at right now, baby. We need to see you do something with My Precious. Are you gonna put the ring on and be invisible? What you gonna do? But somebody gonna have to bust a move. This is where we are, ladies and gentlemen, because this is everything that they need. They spied on everybody. They spied on everybody in the GOP. So now if the quote unquote GOP, the elephant can't all get together to take down this enemy right here, right now, I want you to know we don't stand a chance. And all us going into prison camps. This is the moment. This is the moment right now. Don't believe me? Alex Jones talking about it. Everybody talking about it. But it's the moment. It's the final countdown. We're living together. You understand? It's the final countdown. Like I said, Kash out here handling his business. Here it is. Kash Patel. Breaking. An incredible success. Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, FBI just thwarted a potential terrorist attack in Michigan, arresting several people. Thanks to the men and women of the FBI and law enforcement, everywhere standing guard 24/7 and crushing our mission. Now, we don't know who the terrorist is. They didn't release no name. But it's supposed to be a terrorist in Michigan. Ain't no telling. I suggest it's in Michigan. You got a whole bunch of them people in Michigan. It's going on Halloween night. One of them got worked up, was like, oh no, that's paganism. You can't go out and have these kids doing this on Halloween. It's either that or it was the other way around. It was some kind of cutout that was going to go target them people and blow them up. But either way it go, it don't matter. So the point I'm making is Kash Patel and them is handling their business. They handling their business. But we going to see if they going to handle the business. We need to see them handle the business. It's kind of like one of those things where when you were a kid, your mama said, hey, man, go out there and cut that grass. I need you to cut that grass. And so you go out there and you edge the lawn. You know what I'm saying? You edge it up. It look real edge, but the grass still high with weeds. Then you go out there and you pull out the weeds out of the flower bed. You know, you pull all the weeds out the flower bed. You put mulch in there. You put all this stuff in there. Not a flower bed. You plant new flowers. All that look pretty. All of it look amazing. All that part look good. But you ain't cut the damn grass. You did all the stuff, but you ain't cut the damn grass. You trimmed the bushes. You trimmed the hedges. You pruned the rose garden. You did all the things we need you to cut the grass. And we at the point where they need to cut the grass, baby. Cut the grass now. Cut the grass, man. Because it was the Arctic Frost that led to Steve Bannon going to prison. It was the Arctic Frost that went after Alex Jones. And I want to be clear with you. If that network is not rolled up and destroyed, all the people punished, oh yeah, this is going to be the same network that get everybody. They're going to get everybody, ladies and gentlemen, including my black behind. They're going to get everybody.
Danbury. Now, at a year later, Alex Jones, I find out that you and I were targeted with 44, I think, others, with another 111 in kind of the on-deck circle, by the Justice Department, the FBI, more than anybody ever thought. I mean, the scandals that broke in the last couple of days, one on this Arctic Frost went from Grassley to Jim Jones. We had the chairman of Judiciary on yesterday, Jim Jordan, but also and I don't want to call it the autopan, really the lawlessness of the executive orders and pardons coming out of Biden. This entire regime was incredibly lawless, but they were focused on the leaders of MAGA to take them out and not just bankrupt them with legal as they're trying to do with you, but put all of us in prison for a long time, sir.
Absolutely, and it's no secret that as soon as Trump got in, and even when he was president-elect, and even when he won the nomination in Cleveland in 2016, and had that first historic victory, that you, Manafort, and Flynn and others were the main targets, and then it moved on to myself and Roger Stone and many others. But now with this Arctic Frost and the spying on the 8 senators, and now we learned congressmen and women, your name appears in there, my name appears in there, and most of it is blacked out or has this Justice Department code that jumbles it all up. So I talked to 2 different FBI agents this morning that are analyzing and going over it, and actually part of this has already hit the news, but there's code in there for the type of investigations. It wasn't just that we were questioning the election, which is totally legal and lawful. It wasn't just they were trying to frame us for their Fedsurrection January 6th, but it was a dragnet looking into banking and money and gambling, and just a whole giant dragnet with all the FBI field offices across the country, all hands on deck. So this is a target list. It's much bigger than just, some senators' phone records and who are they talking to. And then you and I are the only journalist on the list. And then I'm the only person on the unredacted areas who knows what's redacted, 90%'s redacted, covered up, where they say they have my cell phone data. And we know they got that through the Justice Department, Democrat Party, Sandy Hook lawsuits that they ran. So there they are using discovery at the time to then hand that over without a warrant to Jack Smith, because he tried to subpoena my cell phone, and of course made us testify to their fake kangaroo Jan 6 committee. And when I fought it and beat it in federal court, and just that alone cost like $20,000, they went, that's okay. We'll just go to this lawfare we're running and we'll get his cell phone contents there. And they got over a year of cell phone data, text messages, all of it. And of course, they found nothing illegal of any type. But when we read the documents, it was a total dragnet to find anything, stocks, gambling, anything. So all of us were literally on a list that would have made somebody like President Nixon, who did almost nothing compared to this, blush. He had 100 and something names in a safe that they were thinking about using the IRS on. Well, the Democrats have been bragging since Obama that they've targeted millions of conservatives with the IRS and thousands of nonprofits and Republican groups. So this is all part of this ratcheting up terrorization of the American people. And so this scandal is much bigger than them just spying on who was talking to Trump after January 6th. This was a Dragnet excuse, but that's what Ed Martin said months ago, and he's got Jack Smith's emails and material now. He said this on the record, that Smith planned these giant show trial hearings where hundreds of people would be tried at a time in D.C., similar to the Sicilian mafia trials back in the 90s in Italy. And so all of this was planned, and they were looking for anything they could find. And guess what? There they were now, a key dragnet of 40 plus, 100 people in their orbit. They were also looking at their communications and things. In a lot of cases, we now know without warrants, to try to find something, and they found nothing. Meanwhile, you can't scratch the surface of a Democrat, Pelosi, Crockett, any of them, and not find massive insider trading. We now have Crockett with secret stock portfolios, totally on its face, 100% felony, but I wouldn't hold my breath for anything out of this Justice Department, because there are some good people there, but they tend to get blocked by a culture that wants to protect itself. So this is
Exactly. And this is what I'm saying. This is the moment, this is the time where it's shit to get off the pot. Pardon my language, ladies and gentlemen, but it's shit to get off the pot. If they can't bust a move right now with Arctic Frost, and I'm telling you, in all honesty, if they don't have the kahunas to bust a move with the Arctic Frost and just wipe everybody out, just take them all out of their places, all out of their spots, or go in with them and say, okay, man, we know you participated in this Arctic Frost. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you in some witness protection, but you got to tell everybody everything. You can't be in the FBI no more. You got to go on about your business. You can't work in the private sector. You can't do nothing. But you got to tell me where all the bodies is buried. But you can't be here. We can't have you here because you spied on the president of the United States. So it's either you going to go to prison, and we're going to put you in there, and them boys going to do you dirty, or you can take this little package and leave and go about your business and go to some island somewhere. But see, if we can't get this done, if this can't happen, if the American justice system can't get this done, it's a wrap. It's over. And it ain't got to happen today. I'm not sitting here saying, beating on the table saying, if Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, and they don't do it this now. No, that's unfair. That's not right. That's not right. But if they can't get it done, period, oh yeah, it's a wrap for America. It's a wrap for America. If Judge Boasberg and every judge that's associated with this don't go to prison, if this is not the impetus to go and slide through and arrest all the judges and everybody else, it's a wrap for America. Because you cannot have people do wickedness and there be no justice. There's no justice in America. There is no America. And that's what I'm saying. That man right there, Alex, know it. That's why he was spazzing. He's like, yo, they just did everything they could do to me. They've been screwing me over left and right, and y'all won't do nothing. What he's supposed to do, go get a gun and go shoot somebody? That's what they want him to do. They win with that. The only thing he can do is throw himself on the mercy of the courts of America. That's why when I was there, we went to the mercy of the court of heaven. And I'll tell you something real interesting. Keep on saying, in 5 days, they're going to shut down InfoWars. In 5 days, they're going to be in here. And I believe that them people telling him in 5 days, 6 days, 7 days. But you notice, they ain't ran that man out of his studio yet. And I wanted to spend some more time with Alex sharing this with him. But I'll disclose it here. He'll probably never hear this. But you want to know the reason why they're not going to take InfoWars? Because the reason the minute they take it, see, they haven't taken it from him. The minute they take it from him, the judgment that's hanging over their head hits them. And then his recompense and his compensation hits in the realm of the spirit. So that this is, and they know these things. They know this. Literally from a spiritual standpoint, if you ever been to whatever, they know this. So they're doing like this. They're bringing the judgment right here. Hold on. Let me look at the camera. I need to go that way. They bring that judgment right there. Like, was it touching my head? I can't feel it. It's doing right there like that. And they just swinging it back and forth. Vroom, 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 vroom. Just trying to touch the skin on his head. They don't want to hit his head. They just want him to know that they could do it. To be in fear. We can come in there any day and get you, Mr. Jones. Bring your ass, man. Bring your ass and let's get this over with. Because what's going to happen is, at some point in time, he's going to sue them for billions of dollars. Don't believe me, just watch. Don't believe me, just watch. Don't believe me, just watch. Hey, 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 hey. And they know it. They cannot go balls to the walls and take everything unless all of the systems are in place to protect them. And all the systems are starting to shake a little bit. The foundation of the system is shaking. It's going. The engine's got all the oil in the water. It's chocolate oil. It looks like chocolate milk. And the engine goes. And they smart. And they sitting there driving. They're like, hey, we need to pull this car over for a little while. You let it cool off. The engine might blow up. The point I'm making is, if we don't deal with this, we don't deal with it. If it's not dealt with. You see this pause, this reprieve that's we've gotten? Oh, when these demons come back from the dry places that they've been cast to, they gonna be going crazy, ladies and gentlemen, and we can't let that happen. No, sir. Can't let it happen. See y'all on the next video. I like you. I appreciate you. Deuces.